Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. The three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, have men under their control. They are like three robbers, brothers. As long as sattva exists, it calls on rajas for help. And rajas can get help from tamas. The three gunas are so many robbers. Tamas kills, rajas binds, sattva no doubt releases man from his bondage, but it cannot take him to God. Sri Ramakrishna is telling the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Tamas is to be like matter in case of living beings. Material world, how it full of tamas. Like that, lethargy, inability to be active and moving. These are the signs of tamas, and also excessive anger, excessive lust, greed, beyond limits. Like that, it is called tamas. Tamas is going to destroy a man because of when he gets angry, the person on whom he gets angry is not much affected. Anger has possessed him. Lust has possessed him. Greed has possessed him. Like ghost possessing, it possesses. So the tamas, and he cannot aspire for higher life because lethargy, alasya, laziness, dirgha sutritva, go on postponing the work. This will not make him to succeed in the productive and prosperity way of living. So he neither goes ahead, but he goes on burning from the fire of his own inner greed and all that. So he slowly collapses from within. Whereas Rajas is full of desires, ambitions, expectations, demands. Run, run, run behind his word. What we usually seek is, I want happiness, I want peace, I want freedom. They are not external things that I can run after and catch it. Every object of this world entices us to give that to man. It entices, it presents, I will give you happiness. The moment you catch it, you see that it has started giving suffering and it's put into bondage. This constant chase, and he leaves that, looks at the other and leaves that, runs behind that, runs and catches it. That also will give suffering, that also will suffer. Last, how that Rajas is making him bound and suffering. Then Sattva. Sattva is one which goes on, your inner calmness, inner bliss, inner joy. He doesn't need any external things to fulfill his needs and demands. Anything is all right for little sustenance of body, a shelter for this body. That's all. A little clothing to cover his body. With that, he is fully satisfied with minimum needs and he is able to see the suffering of others run and help and serve. This is sattva. Love, compassion, sacrifice, all these great qualities, and this constantly makes him expand. He expands. How he expands, you see, beautifully expands. He sees others suffering, he runs there to serve. He feels they are all mine. He feels I am that. At the ultimate, I am in everyone. So, this wisdom, this understanding is sattva. This shows constantly, indicates there is the supreme reality, there is a life eternal, there is a life of absolute freedom from nature forever. So, this shows, but it cannot take. We walk along that path. The sattva shows, and we reach the goal. Vijay smiling. It is because sattva too is a robber. Master smiling. True, sattva cannot take man to God, but it shows him the way. Sattva cannot, but it will show the way. Bhavnath, these are wonderful words indeed. He is enjoying his things, you see. Always that question, why will be there? Everything, why there is suffering? Why my life is like this? Why this has happened like this? Always that question mark, why? So anybody gives a logical understanding, an intellectual understanding, which is in line with the heart. Heart, pure logic also will not work. The logic that is presented and the intellectual reasoning behind that must satisfy the heart. When the reasoning logic touches the heart, the soul gets, oh, yes, this is the cause. This is the thing. This is the right thing. This total acceptance of the ideal, total acceptance of the theme of the Siddhanta, and also the person who is presented. Everything is in its right position and he has seen the truth. Having seen the truth, he is presenting the truth, repeated in different fields, in different understandings, different ways. He is presenting the truth in every field, for every question he has an answer. Then the soul, even the lowest man will recognize him as the enlightened soul. So also intellectuals who are very sharp-brained, they also accept that enlightened person. So acceptance of the truth, acceptance of the principle, acceptance of the person who is presenting it, and the path he gives. These are the wonderful words. Master, yes, this is a lofty thought. Listening to these words of the Master, the devotees felt very happy. Master, woman and gold is the cause of bondage. Woman and gold alone constitutes samsara, the world. It is woman and gold that keeps one from seeing God. Holding the towel in front of his face, do you see my face anymore? Of course not. The towel hides it. No sooner the covering of woman and gold is removed than one attains Chidananda, consciousness and bliss. Now, this throughout the gospel, many, many times Sri Ramakrishna utters this complex word, woman and gold. Gold represents all kind of objects that can give us enjoyment apart from sustenance. Now, sustenance is absolutely necessary. I need food to eat to survive. I need a comfortable place to protect myself from the weather conditions, rains, heat, cold. I need to protect myself. These are absolute, these we don't call the objects of enjoyment. They are objects of need. And without that, life becomes very troublesome and difficult. Many times, it may fail to exist to that extent. Suppose the cold is very deep cold, now like minus 25, minus 30. Many places are there where temperature goes to very low. You can take only 5 breaths in that cold. Your body becomes immediately freezed. So there, how to survive if you don't have these small things that is necessary to survive? These don't become the objects of enjoyment. Small tastes are also, now I need a cloth, I can have any color. So it is a choice. These are small things that doesn't matter. But because it gives pleasing features to mind also. Now you go to the garden, you see many colors, colorful flowers, each gives you a kind of joy. When you see the garden on the whole, what a beautiful sight it could be. Moonlight, how it looks, stars at night. Like that, that makes our mind pleasant. Blind man is living, is deprived of most of the beauty of this nature. He lives. Living is not a problem. But when living, if he has eyes, he can appreciate, he can like, he can show the mental or psychic need. Small things, colorful clothes and different costumes. These doesn't matter, small differences, but it is needed. Now other objects of enjoyments, luxuries, comforts, these are all becomes one part is materialistic things. Other is serious objects of enjoyment. Now these possessions, wealth to possess the objects of enjoyments in more than the nature demands. I can walk, small distances I have to go. Of course, a little far away doesn't matter. I can walk still. All beings, no being uses a vehicle. I can use a bicycle also. But I want car alone, I want scooter alone. This becomes already extra comforts, higher comforts. I want a cycle, I am putting my energy to move. Small other expenses on it is not there. But if I buy a scooter, every day I have to feed it with petrol. Now these nearby, and if you are going to go office also, buses, these things are there, but I am going to use a car, which is going to harm the nature and others. Yes, alone many people go far off distances. They go just for enjoyment. So these things becomes a little serious things. These are all come under the objects of enjoyment. So this is one part, all this name, fame, glory, all that come under the Kanchana. I want to become famous. And somehow I want to claim my authority. I want to have power, not to serve, to feel the holders of powers. Like that, all these come in the Kanchana. And all types of enjoyments, sense enjoyments, bodily pleasures, demands of the flesh, all these come under the Kamini. Kamini and Kanchana, the term used by Sri Ramakrishna is Kamini and Kanchana. Not in English, when the author read the Gospel in English, it was already written and published, and he had written it original in Bengali, M. Master Maharaj, and Mahendranath Gupta. He has written in Bengali. It is translated by one of the Swamis into English. When he read this term, woman and gold, and many other things, translator's error. It doesn't mean actually woman and gold. It is Kamini Kanchana, all the objects that he possesses for enjoyment and all types of enjoyments, which can be avoided from small things like everyday eating ice cream, depending entirely on chocolates and higher rich food. When it's harmful on one side, still and expensive, it can be avoided. Instead, find biscuits you can take. So here, these are small enjoyments of the sense enjoyments. To the other things, the man seeking woman, woman seeking man, both come under Kamini. Kamini is what creates Kama, desire. Anything that creates a desire in a person, whether man or woman, or a child or old man, anything that creates a desire is called Kamini. And when it comes to the term sex, it takes a different form. It's a creative impulse of the whole creation and is the process of sustenance through which the whole thing is going to sustain. Now, the seeds formation in the tree we don't see, when we see a tree full of fruits, it is pregnant. The pollination has taken place in the flowers. We don't see there, but when it comes to the human, we feel it. It is associated with the desires of bodily flesh, demands of flesh. So here, it is by which the vegetation is kept ever on this earth. And it is a source of food. So many plants and trees. The vegetation is sustained. Tree comes, lives for some time, dies away. But before it dies, it throws thousands of seeds. I am going away. Let the vegetation continue. So this, when man uses for enjoyments, apart from building up a progeny, a genuine progeny, without the awareness or without the caring for the enjoyments, then it is divine. It is an act of nature. Nature is sustaining on two important principles. One is self-preservation and preservation of species. This preservation of species is one of the important factors by which The every species is propagating or progeniting, each maintaining. The mother animal or mother plant gives birth to a seed. A seed is going to give another seed, another seed. Vegetation is going to continue. Life, a particular bird, the birds we see are going to continue through their progeny. It is nature's demand. And if it is not used for enjoyments, then it is not called Kamini. Exclusively for getting a child, sex is not considered as something seen with abhorrence or condemnation. It is respected as divine. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses the term dharma viruddha kamosmi. The kama, which creates desire for progeny, putreshana, if it is for getting a child, I am that kama, because nature has to sustain, things has to go on. He is offering his Pushpanjali to the nature. So here the Kamini Kanchana has to be clearly understood, not as any desire is Kamini and any possession which is beyond our needs of life is Kanchana, including name, fame, power and all these things. So these two terms are translated into English as Kamini, as the woman and gold. And in other languages, it may be given as it is as Kamini and Kanchana, but it has been a Rudi meaning is different, etymological meaning is different. When you go to the etymology, Sri Ramakrishna is speaking from the transcendental realm. He is covering the whole nature and cosmic existence, and from that understanding he is speaking. And man is seeing from his social and bodily existence. He mistakes that words. So here, when he says, give up desires which are not legitimate, and then give up possessions which is beyond your need. With that, you cannot realize God. These are things that are covering our soul with darkness. Let me tell you something. He who has renounced the pleasures of wife has verily renounced the pleasure of the world. God is very near to such a person. The devotees listened to these words in silence. To treat a woman, though married, his own wife as wife, is different from looking upon her as Divine Mother or as a product of this Mother Nature who needs care, love, respect, all these things. He will never misuse or condemn it by any means. That always, especially in Hinduism from ancient times, woman is kept at the very highest level of respect. Till the Western thoughts entered into the Indian awareness, that remained a pure awareness of looking upon every woman as a representative, agent, or a symbol of Divine Mother. Devotees listen to these words in silence. Master to Kedar, Vijay, and other devotees. He who has renounced the pleasure of a wife has verily renounced the pleasure of the world. It is woman and gold that hides God, because he is speaking to men. He is telling, suppose he is speaking to women, it is otherwise. Women seeking men. You people have such imposing mustaches, and yet you too are involved in woman and gold. Tell me if it is not true. Search your heart and answer me. To be a slave and enjoy, and to be a master and enjoy are different. So, freedom of the soul is what all is needed. All are running behind the enjoyments because they are slaves of enjoyment. Their mind is on divine. If any enjoyment comes, even food, tasty food, and ordinary food, they don't differentiate much. Do they not understand the difference between a tasty food and ordinary food, tasteless food? They do. But when they take tasteless food, which is nourishing, which is needed for body, they take joyfully because their body is not going to be nourished. Now monkeys come here, dogs are there in the street, give them any food material. Now only plain rice, without cooked rice, without anything. How they gabble and eat it. You give tasty food, fried items, it will eat with the same gusto. There is no difference. But when it comes to, we prefer, we avoid untasty food. Like that, if you are able to untasty food also, if it is nourishing your body, it is not harmful, we enjoy it because my body is going to be nourished. If a tasty food comes, food is for the body, tasty, we offer it to God. We transcend. So these even small things, search your heart and answer me. Have you taste for things, the sense pleasures and bodily enjoyments? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.